Dog Sanctuary Mastery Course, How to Open a Dog Sanctuary by Lewis Critchley. Chapter 1. Crystallizing the Vision into a Tangible Plan. From Concept to Concrete, the Art of Crafting Plans. Did you know that the most beautifully designed structures around us began as mere ideas? But how did these visions transition from the nebulae of imagination into the strong, tangible edifices we see and use daily? The magic of materialization, turning ideas into plans. When you have a bold vision in your mind, it may seem vivid and clear. However, the challenge lies in conveying this clarity to others and setting the stage for actualization. This step involves a strategic approach to break down your vision into achievable components. Understanding the building blocks. A comprehensive plan needs to be assembled much like a jigsaw puzzle. Each bold piece represents a specific aspect of your vision. Your job is to identify and describe these aspects in clear terms. For example, if you are planning to build a house, your jigsaw puzzle pieces could be zoning regulations, building codes, architectural designs, material selection, and project timelines. Setting clear objectives and milestones. Transforming vision into a plan requires setting bold objectives that serve as signposts along the journey. These objectives break the project into stages, allowing you to focus on achieving one milestone at a time. It's also essential to allocate bold timeframes for each milestone to ensure the project moves at a steady pace. For instance, the objective for the first quarter of your project might be finalizing the architectural design, with the following quarter aimed at obtaining all necessary permits. Creating a blueprint for success. In any construction, the architect's blueprint is a detailed representation of the final structure. Your plan needs a bold blueprint that includes all the minute details which could impact the realization of your vision. In our example of building a house, the blueprint would show not just the layout of rooms, but also the placement of electricity outlets, plumbing, lighting, and so on. Allocating resources wisely. Every plan requires resources, whether it's time, money, or materials. Prioritize the allocation of these resources to where they will have the most significant impact. For a project like building a sanctuary, this could mean investing more in sustainable building materials or advanced insulation techniques to reduce long-term energy costs. Communicating and collaborating. A vision crystallized into a plan still needs the bold collaboration of various stakeholders to become a reality. Regular communication ensures everyone understands their roles and the expectations upon them. Providing clear documentation, like a project charter or a statement of work, can facilitate this process. Examples in action. Imagine you're planning a community garden. Your vision includes not only the garden beds, but also educational spaces and a small cafe. The first step is sketching out a physical plan for the layout. Then you'd break this plan down into stages: clearing the land, soil preparation, planting, building infrastructure, and opening the cafe. For each stage, list the necessary actions, assign responsible individuals or teams, and set deadlines. By methodically turning a concept into a detailed plan, your vision starts becoming a part of the real world. And therein lies the true power of planning. It acts as the bridge between what you can imagine and what you can create. To do, create a tangible plan for the vision. Short step-by-step plan. 1. Identify the key components of the vision. For example, if the vision is to start a community garden, key components might include location, resources needed, and community involvement. 2. Break down the components into actionable steps. For instance, under location, the steps might include researching potential sites, obtaining permissions, and preparing the land. 3. Assign responsibilities and deadlines. Determine who will be responsible for each step and set realistic deadlines for completion. For example, designate a team member to lead the site research and set a deadline for the report. 4. Review and refine the plan. Take time to review the plan, seek input from others, and make any necessary adjustments to ensure it is realistic and achievable. 5. Communicate the plan. Share the plan with all involved parties and stakeholders to ensure everyone is aligned and aware of their roles and responsibilities. Laying the foundations of the dream sanctuary. Have you ever imagined a space so uniquely yours it serves as a personal haven reflecting your deepest desires and aspirations? Creating such a space starts with laying a solid foundation, both literally and figuratively. This process is critical because it translates your abstract dream into the groundwork of reality. Today, we dive into how to establish the foundations for your dream sanctuary. Understanding the basics of foundation laying. Foundation is a term synonymous with strength and longevity. In the context of building your dream sanctuary, laying the foundation involves a series of steps that will ensure the stability and durability of your visionary project. Site selection and analysis. Before any concrete is poured or any stone laid, choosing the right location is of paramount importance. It's about asking the right questions. Is this site conducive to my vision? Will it provide the serenity or inspiration I seek? How will the natural elements affect my sanctuary? Ground preparation and stabilization. Ground preparation is the physical act of getting the site ready, clearing debris, leveling the ground, assessing and enhancing soil stability, foundation design and material considerations. Not all foundations are created equally. The design will vary depending on your sanctuary's purpose and the chosen site's characteristics. Key considerations include load-bearing capacity, resistance to environmental stresses, longevity of materials, translating vision into structural integrity, drafting the blueprint. With the ground ready and a sound understanding of your needs, it's time to draft a blueprint. This technical drawing represents the skeleton upon which your sanctuary will be built. It includes dimensions, load-bearing walls, and areas designated for special purposes. Choosing the right foundation. There are various foundation types, from shallow to deep. Some common types are slab-on-grade foundations, a single layer of concrete, suitable for stable soils and warmer climates. Crawl space foundations, elevated from the ground, offering space for utilities and sometimes storage. Basement foundations, providing additional living or storage space underneath your sanctuary. Engaging with professionals. Building a sanctuary is a complex task that often requires expertise. Structural engineers evaluate the integrity of your plans. Architects may refine the aesthetic and functional aspects. Contractors implement the physical construction, ensuring everything adheres to code and meets your specifications. Ensuring legal compliance. Zoning laws and building codes. Each region has its laws regarding construction. Zoning laws dictate the types of structures you can build. Building codes set the standards for the construction process, permits and inspections. Securing the necessary building permits and scheduling inspections are non-negotiable steps in the foundation laying process. Key considerations for long-term success: quality over speed. Investing time and resources into a high-quality foundation will pay dividends in the long run. Sustainable practices. Consider the sustainability of your build process and materials. Utilizing local eco-friendly materials. Minimizing waste. Implementing energy-efficient systems, flexibility for future changes. Life is dynamic. Build your foundation with room to adjust and grow. In laying the foundations for your dream sanctuary, you bridge the gap between imagination and reality, one solid level block at a time. The care and precision you invest in this phase set the tone for the entire project, anchoring your dreams in the bedrock of thoughtful planning and robust construction practices. With this firm foundation, your sanctuary will stand the test of time, becoming a place where dreams flourish amidst peace and stability. To do, prepare the ground for building the dream sanctuary. Short step-by-step plan. 1. Clear the area. Remove any debris, rocks, or unwanted vegetation from the site to create a clean and level surface for construction. This may involve using tools such as shovels, rakes, and wheelbarrows. 2. Mark the boundaries. Use stakes and string to outline the specific area where the dream sanctuary will be built. This will help ensure that the structure is positioned correctly. 3. Level the ground. Use a level to ensure that the ground is flat and even. This will provide a stable foundation for the structure and help prevent any future issues with uneven ground. 4. Consider drainage. Assess the natural drainage of the area and make any necessary adjustments to prevent water from pooling around the sanctuary. This may involve creating gentle slopes or adding drainage features. Sketching the dream sanctuary. Did you know that the art of sketching can be as therapeutic as it is functional, especially when it's about bringing your dream spaces to life? This step in designing your sanctuary is not just about drawing lines. It's about translating your deepest desires into a visual dialogue. Let's start this journey from concept to reality by learning how to sketch out your personal haven. Understanding the basics of sketching. Sketching is a crucial skill in the design process, enabling you to quickly communicate ideas and explore different concepts. It's the language through which your thoughts take a preliminary form. Key elements of sketching. Line weight. The thickness of lines in a drawing often indicates depth and importance. Heavier lines can suggest structural boundaries, while lighter lines may represent less dominant features. Perspective. The way objects are depicted in 3 dimensions on a 2-dimensional plane. Understanding perspective is important for making your sketches look realistic. Proportion. The relationship between the size of different parts within a sketch. Proportions must be accurate for the drawing to be believable. Shading. Adding tonal value can bring your sketch to life, indicating where light sources are and how they interact with the surfaces within your sanctuary. Translating vision into sketches. Before your pencil touches the paper, close your eyes and imagine walking through your dream sanctuary. What do you see? How does the space make you feel? Techniques for sketching. Thumbnail sketching. Start by creating small, quick sketches to explore various layouts and forms. This technique allows for rapid iteration without commitment to a single idea. Detail studies. Once a layout resonates with you, zoom in on specific areas. Want an intricate window frame or a cozy reading nook? Detail studies help you focus on these areas. Viewpoint variation. Sketch your sanctuary from different angles and perspectives to understand the space better and identify any potential design issues. Tools and materials for sketching. While you can sketch with just a pencil and paper, using the right tools can enhance your experience. Graphite pencils. Different grades of pencils allow you to vary line weight and shading in your sketches. Eraser, for when you need to make adjustments or remove stray marks. Quality paper. Thicker paper can handle more erasure and reworking without damage. Practices for effective sketching. To improve your sketching, practice regularly and keep these tips in mind. Consistent practice. Just like any skill, sketching improves with practice. Dedicate time to sketch every day, even if it's just for 10 minutes. Inspiration gathering. Collect images, visit inspiring places, or observe nature to gather inspiration for your sanctuary. Embracing imperfection. Sketches don't have to be perfect. They are a means to explore, make mistakes, and refine your ideas. Iterative process. Your first sketch is just the beginning. Revisit and revise your sketches as your vision evolves. Sketching the emotional elements. Your sanctuary should be a reflection of your inner peace and joy. Consider the emotional qualities you want to encapsulate within the space. Lighting. Does natural sunlight streaming through the windows create a serene atmosphere? Textures. Can you imagine the feel of soft rugs or the cool touch of stone? Example, sketching a garden retreat. Envision a tranquil garden space within your sanctuary. Start with the outlines of trees and the path leading to a central seating area. Play with the shading to simulate sunlight filtering through leaves. Focus on the proportion of the plants to the seating, ensuring they're inviting, not overwhelming. Iterate on the details, like the pattern on paving stones or the style of the benches, until the sketch feels like a peaceful retreat. Bringing your dream sanctuary from the ethereal plane of imagination into the physical realm starts with a sketch. It's where your aspirations take shape and begin to manifest. With each line and shade, you're one step closer to the sanctuary you've always dreamed of. To do, sketch the layout of the dream sanctuary. Short step-by-step plan. 1. Gather materials. Get a large sheet of paper, a pencil, an eraser, and a ruler. 2. Visualize the layout. Imagine the different areas of the dream sanctuary, such as meditation spaces, gardens, and paths. 3. Start sketching. Use the pencil to roughly draw the outline of the sanctuary on the paper, including the various areas you envisioned. 4. Add details. Use the ruler to add straight lines for paths and boundaries, and freehand curves for natural elements like gardens and water features. 5. Make adjustments. Step back and look at the sketch, then make any necessary changes to the layout. 6. Finalize the sketch. Once you're happy with the layout, go over the lines with a darker pencil to make the sketch clearer. Preparation and legal framework. Navigating legal requirements with ease. Did you know that a single legal blunder can stall your project indefinitely? Navigating legal requirements is crucial for any venture, ensuring that your operations align with current laws and regulations. This educational lesson will dive into the components of preparing your legal groundwork with precision. Grasping the basics of legal compliance. Legal compliance involves adhering to all the rules and regulations pertinent to your operation or project. Ignoring this can lead to severe penalties, including fines, operating restrictions, or even closure. Legal framework. This is the collection of laws that govern how businesses and projects operate. It includes federal, state, and local statutes, regulations, and ordinances. Due diligence. The process of investigating and understanding all of the legal obligations that apply to your project. Example. Before opening a restaurant, you must understand health regulations, business licensing, and employment laws, identifying relevant laws and regulations. The first step in legal preparation is to identify which laws and regulations apply specifically to your type of operation. Regulatory bodies. These are government agencies tasked with enforcing particular regulations. Examples include the Environmental Protection Agency, EPA, for environmental laws, or the Occupational Safety and Health Administration, OSHA, for workplace safety. Example, when constructing a new building, consult with the local zoning commission and building codes. Obtaining necessary permits and licenses. Permits and licenses are official approvals from government bodies that allow you to carry out certain activities. Operating licenses, usually required to legally operate a business within a specific industry or jurisdiction. Construction permits, required for any significant building or renovation projects. Example, to sell alcohol at an event, you'd need a liquor license from the local government. Understanding contract law. Contracts are legally binding agreements between parties. A solid grasp of contract law is vital to protect your interests. Binding agreements. These are legal contracts that involve an offer, acceptance, and consideration between parties. Breach of contract occurs when one party does not fulfill their end of the agreement. Example, when hiring a contractor, a clear contract will specify the work to be done, timeline, and payment terms. Protecting intellectual property. Intellectual property (IP) consists of creations of the mind such as inventions, literary and artistic works, and symbols. Trademarks. Protect brand names, logos, and slogans. Patents. Protect new inventions or discoveries. Example, if you've created a unique product, obtaining a patent prevents others from making, selling, or using your invention without permission. Complying with employment laws. If you have employees, you must comply with all relevant employment laws. Wage laws. Ensure that employees are paid fairly for their work. Workplace safety. Govern the health and safety conditions within the workplace. Example, paying employees at least the minimum wage is a requirement under federal and state law. Data protection and privacy. With the rise of the digital age, safeguarding personal data has become a legal necessity. Data privacy laws. Regulations such as the General Data Protection Regulation, GDPR, set standards for handling personal information. Example, if your business collects customer data, you must comply with data protection laws and clearly disclose how you use that data. Ensuring tax compliance, understanding the tax implications of your activities is essential. Sales tax, applied to the sale of goods and services. Income tax, levied on the income generated by a business or individual. Example, if you run an online store, you need to collect and remit sales taxes in the states where you have Nexus. Regular audits and updates. Laws and regulations can change, so it's important to conduct regular reviews. Legal audits, assessing your practices to ensure ongoing compliance. Policy updates, modifying your policies to reflect changes in law. Example, A yearly review of your employee handbook can ensure that your policies remain in line with current labor laws. Case study example. Imagine a technology startup that developed a new health monitoring device. To navigate legal requirements with ease, the company must obtain FDA approval for their device since it's a medical product, protect their technology with a patent, ensure all data privacy standards are met when handling patients' health data, comply with both domestic and international regulations if they plan to sell globally. By understanding and applying these aspects of the legal framework, any venture can stay compliant, minimize risk, and facilitate smooth operations. Remember, investing time in legal preparedness now can help avoid costly penalties and delays in the future. To do, compile a list of all legal requirements for starting a nonprofit organization. Short step-by-step plan. 1. Research the legal requirements for nonprofit organizations in your state or country. For example, visit the official government website or consult with a legal professional specializing in nonprofit law. 2. Make a checklist of all the necessary documentation and forms needed to establish a nonprofit organization. This might include articles of incorporation, bylaws, and tax exemption applications. 3. Identify any specific permits or licenses required for your nonprofit's activities, such as fundraising or operating certain programs. 4. Review any ongoing compliance obligations such as filing annual reports or maintaining tax-exempt status. 5. Organize the information into a clear and accessible format for future reference, such as a checklist or spreadsheet. The best solution, 10/10. Create a comprehensive checklist of all legal requirements, including necessary documentation, permits, and ongoing compliance obligations, ensuring that all legal aspects are managed efficiently. Charming landowners and wooing the government. Did you know that developing a successful project often involves not just your skills and resources, but also the art of persuasion and relationship management? This is especially true when your project encroaches upon land interests or requires government buy-in. Today's lesson is geared towards understanding and executing the strategic approaches to win over the hearts of landowners and secure favorable attention from government entities. Building positive relationships with landowners. Landowners can either be a project's greatest advocates or its most formidable obstacles. The key to converting the prospect into the former lies in understanding their perspectives and interests. Initiating first contact. Your first interaction with landowners sets the tone for future communications. Always approach with respect, professionalism, and honesty. Personal visits coupled with official communication can go a long way. Use their name, show interest in their story, and most importantly, listen. Showcasing mutual benefits. Communicate clearly how the landowner's cooperation could bring mutual benefits, whether it's shared profits, improvements to the land, or contributions to the community. Ensure they understand what's in it for them. Negotiating agreements. When it comes to formalities, tailor agreements to address any concerns they might have. From environmental impact to the duration of the project, be upfront and transparent. Always seek legal advice before finalizing any agreements. Maintaining the relationship. Even after agreements are signed, maintaining a positive relationship is crucial. Keep them updated about progress and any issues that may affect them. A good relationship can lead to future opportunities or referrals. Engaging with government officials. A project's success can rely heavily on the alignment with government priorities and regulations. Establishing a good rapport can aid in navigating the bureaucratic waters of permits and approvals. Understanding government interests. Do your homework. Understand the government's interests, strategic goals, and the political climate that could affect your project. Customize your project's pitch to align with these goals. Making your case. When presenting your project, be concise, factual, and articulate its public benefits, such as job creation, economic growth, or environmental conservation. Concrete data and well-prepared presentations can make a significant impact. Networking. Building a network within governmental circles can provide inside knowledge and allies. Attend public meetings, engage in community events, and seek introductions to influential figures. Relationships are as crucial here as they are with landowners. Navigating the red tape. Understanding the procedural requirements is essential. This may range from environmental assessments to zoning laws. Engage with the relevant departments early and often to ensure adherence to all regulations. Lobbying and advocacy. Sometimes charming isn't enough. You have to advocate for your project actively. This can involve lobbying within legal boundaries, public campaigns, or media engagement to garner support for your initiative. Securing approvals. The final goal is to secure the necessary approvals, which requires a mix of all the above: relationships, understanding of the legal requirements, a clear case for the project, and continuous engagement. Real-life example: solar farm project. Imagine a solar company wanting to install a new solar farm. By finding common ground with local landowners who are interested in sustainable practices and additional income, and by demonstrating to the government how the project aligns with renewable energy goals, the company can effectively navigate the delicate process of establishing a new solar farm. This holistic strategy of relationship building, attentiveness to mutual benefits, and proactive engagement with government entities forms the cornerstone of any project that requires buy-in from multiple stakeholders. It's as much about politics as it is about planning. To do: establish rapport with landowners and government officials to gain their support and cooperation. Short step-by-step plan. 1. Research the key landowners and government officials in the area where you plan to operate. This may include identifying their names, positions, and any relevant information about their interests and priorities. Example: use public records, local news sources, and official websites to gather information about the landowners and government officials in the target area. 2. Develop a personalized approach for each individual, highlighting how your project aligns with their interests and how it can benefit them and the community. Example: craft tailored messages or presentations that demonstrate how your project can enhance the value of their properties or contribute to local economic development. 3. Initiate contact with the landowners and government officials to schedule meetings or presentations. Clearly communicate the purpose of the engagement and the potential benefits for all parties involved. Example: reach out via email or phone to request a meeting and provide a brief overview of your project and its potential positive impact on the community. 4. Actively listen to their concerns and feedback and be prepared to address any questions or objections they may have. Building trust and understanding their perspectives is crucial for successful collaboration. Example: take notes during the meetings to capture the concerns and feedback from the landowners and government officials, and follow up with well-researched responses to their inquiries. 5. Follow up with a thank you note or email, expressing appreciation for their time and reiterating the potential benefits of working together. Maintain open communication channels for future discussions and updates. Example: send a personalized thank you message within 48 hours after the meeting, highlighting key points discussed and expressing enthusiasm for potential collaboration. By following these steps, you can effectively charm landowners and woo the government to gain their support for your project. Chapter 2. Securing Nonprofit Status. Did you know that in the United States alone, there were over 1.5 million nonprofit organizations registered with the Internal Revenue Service, IRS, as of 2021? Standing apart in this vast sea of goodwill endeavors requires not only a compelling mission, but also a strong legal framework. Achieving nonprofit status is a significant milestone for many organizations, and here's how to navigate the conditions and commitments attached to this coveted designation. Understanding nonprofit classification. Nonprofit organizations are formed for the collective, public, or social benefit. They differ from business entities in that they are not created to make profits for owners or shareholders. Instead, any surplus revenues are reinvested to further their altruistic goals. But gaining nonprofit status isn't as simple as declaring your intention to do good. Types of nonprofit organizations. In U.S. law, nonprofit status can cover various types such as charitable organizations, referred to as 501(c)(3) organizations, social welfare organizations, 501(c)(4), business leagues, 501(c)(6), etc. Each category has specific eligibility criteria and tax implications. The application process. Securing nonprofit status involves a series of meticulous steps that demand attention to detail and an understanding of legal intricacies. 1. Forming the nonprofit corporation. First and foremost, your organization must be established as a legal entity, typically a corporation within your state. This involves articles of incorporation. Filing these with your state's corporations office establishes your nonprofit at the state level. Bylaws. Drafting bylaws that govern your organization's operations, which must comply with both state and federal laws. 2. Applying for federal tax-exempt status. Once your nonprofit corporation is established, the next major step is to apply for federal tax-exempt status through the IRS. This involves completing Form 1023 or Form 1023-EZ for smaller organizations. The key elements of this application include detailed narrative of your organization's activities, financial statements and future budget projections, conflicts of interest policy. 3. State and local compliance. After receiving federal recognition, nonprofits may need to register with their state's charity bureau, if one exists, and comply with any local regulations concerning fundraising, property taxes and sales taxes exemptions, record keeping and reporting. Due diligence is vital. Even after securing nonprofit status, organizations must maintain meticulous records and annual reporting to demonstrate accountability, uphold transparency, retain their tax-exempt status. This includes annual reports, filing the IRS Form 990, which discloses financial information and ensures public transparency. State reports, complying with state-specific annual reports or filings as required. Common pitfalls to avoid. In the quest to secure nonprofit status, organizations often stumble over common mistakes such as incomplete or inaccurate paperwork, underestimating the importance of state-level compliance, failing to articulate a clear exempt purpose. Avoiding these missteps and seeking professional legal advice when needed helps ensure a smoother journey towards securing nonprofit status. Maximizing your chances of success. Here are some best practices. 1. Engage with legal experts. Consider consulting with attorneys who specialize in nonprofit law when preparing incorporation documents and tax exemption applications. 2. Educate your team. Ensure board members and key staff understand the legal and tax obligations of nonprofit governance. 3. Stay informed. Keep abreast of changes in nonprofit regulations and IRS guidelines. Securing nonprofit status is a significant undertaking that lays the foundational framework for your organization's future growth and success. By wisely navigating the legal pathways, your nonprofit can soar towards its mission of making a positive impact on society. To do, apply for nonprofit status. Short step-by-step plan. 1. Research the requirements for obtaining nonprofit status in your country. For example, in the United States, you would need to file Form 1023 with the IRS. 2. Prepare the necessary documentation such as articles of incorporation, bylaws, and a mission statement. 3. Complete and submit the application for nonprofit status according to the guidelines provided by the relevant government agency. This may involve paying a filing fee and providing detailed information about your organization's activities and structure. The best solution, 10/10. Submit the completed nonprofit status application along with all required documentation to the appropriate government agency, ensuring that everything is accurate and in compliance with the regulations. Building your sanctuary. Exploring innovative design layouts. Did you know that the environment you're in can greatly influence your creativity and productivity? When planning a space, be it a home sanctuary or a community center, the design layout can either dampen or ignite the spark of innovation within its users. Here's how you can explore innovative design layouts to create a space that inspires and accommodates growth and creativity. The importance of innovative layouts in design. Innovative layouts go beyond aesthetics. They can change the way we interact with the environment and each other. By breaking away from traditional arrangements, you open up new possibilities for use, flow, and experience. Flexibility. A flexible layout is one that can adapt to various activities and group sizes. For example, Movable walls or multi-purpose furniture allow a room to transform easily from a cozy reading nook into a community workshop space. Openness. An open design layout can encourage collaboration and communication. Think of a large central atrium or a series of interconnected spaces without hard separations, inviting interaction among its users. Key elements to an innovative layout. Zoning. Create distinct areas or zones for different activities. This allows for specialized spaces within a larger environment, such as quiet zones for meditation or loud zones for group activities, without the need for physical walls. Nature integration. Incorporate elements of nature into the layout with indoor gardens, water features, or maximized natural lighting. This can improve air quality and provide a calming atmosphere. Technology integration. Smart technologies can make a space more adaptable and responsive to the needs of its users. Think automated lighting that adjusts throughout the day, or interactive surfaces that provide information or entertainment. Real-world examples. Community spaces redefined. Consider how libraries have evolved from quiet reading spaces to vibrant community hubs with maker spaces and digital labs. This shift involved reconsidering how different areas within the library are laid out to support a broader range of activities. Living spaces reimagined. Look at examples in modern housing such as tiny homes, where space is at a premium. Innovative layouts maximize usability, featuring foldable desks, beds that recess into the wall, and adaptable storage solutions. Considering user experience, UX. When designing a layout, it's crucial to consider the UX. This includes flow. How will people move through the space? Are there clear paths, or is navigation confusing? Accessibility. Can everyone, regardless of ability, use the space effectively? Are there accommodations like ramps, tactile guides for the visually impaired, or sensory zones for those with cognitive disabilities? Interaction. Does the layout encourage engagement between users? Are there communal tables or seating arrangements that foster communication? Implementing your design. Iterative design. Try small-scale models or computer simulations to test variations in your layout before implementing changes. Feedback loop. Gather feedback from actual users of the space to understand what works and what doesn't. This will help in fine-tuning the layout to better meet the needs of its intended audience. Sustainability. Consider the environmental impact of your layout choices. Use recycled materials, energy-efficient designs, and plan for longevity rather than frequent redesigns. Local culture and context. An innovative layout should also take into account local culture, history, and environmental conditions, making it not only groundbreaking, but also relevant and respectful. Exploring innovative design layouts is about thinking outside the box, quite literally, and considering how space can be functional, flexible, and future-ready. Whether designing a home office or a public library, thinking innovatively about layout can lead to environments that inspire and facilitate growth and connection. To do, explore innovative design layouts for the project. Short step-by-step plan. 1. Research innovative design layouts by browsing design websites such as Behance and Dribbble for inspiration. Example. Spend 30 minutes browsing Behance and Dribbble to gather at least 5 innovative design layout ideas. 2. Create a mood board or Pinterest board to collect and organize the design layouts that resonate with the project's vision. Example. Spend 20 minutes creating a digital mood board with images and notes for each design layout idea. 3. Analyze the practicality and relevance of each design layout to the project's requirements and target audience. Example. Spend 15 minutes evaluating each design layout based on its suitability for the project's goals and user experience. 4. Discuss the top 3 design layout options with the team or stakeholders to gather feedback and insights. Example. Schedule a 30-minute meeting to present the selected design layouts and gather input from team members and stakeholders. 5. Document the key elements and features of the chosen design layout for future reference and implementation. Example. Create a brief summary highlighting the key aspects of the selected design layout and its potential impact on the project. The best solution, 10 tenths. Implementing these steps will ensure a thorough exploration of innovative design layouts for the project, leading to practical and actionable insights for the next stage of development. Creating a community hub. Did you know that social hubs can increase well-being? Community hubs have emerged as pivotal spaces that promote social cohesion and collective well-being. They serve as epicenters where people from different backgrounds congregate to share, learn, and support each other. When imagined and constructed thoughtfully, these community-centric spaces can become much more than just buildings. They transform into a living, breathing part of the neighborhood's identity. Understanding the purpose of a community hub. Before diving into the creation of a community hub, it's essential to understand its core purpose. A community hub is designed to be a versatile space that offers various services and opportunities for interaction. It aims to reflect the community's identity, needs, and aspirations while providing a welcoming space for all. Key functions. Meeting place. The hub should offer spaces for people to connect, whether casually or for organized events. Learning and growth. It should provide educational opportunities ranging from formal classes to informal workshops. Cultural exchange. A platform for artistic and cultural expression is vital for a well-rounded community hub. Health and well-being. Incorporating health services or fitness spaces contributes to the physical and mental well-being of attendees. Support and resources. Providing access to crucial services like counseling, job assistance, and other support mechanisms can be invaluable. Site selection and accessibility. Location is key. Choosing a location for your community hub is a delicate balance. It should be centrally located, easily accessible, and visible to the community. Proximity to public transportation, ample parking spaces, and safe pedestrian access are factors that should be considered to maximize accessibility and inclusivity. Engaging with the community. The importance of feedback. From the inception stages, community involvement is crucial. Engage with local residents through surveys, town hall meetings, and focus groups to gather input on what they envision for the space and what services they need or desire. Designing for flexibility. Versatile spaces. The architecture and interior design of a community hub should be flexible. Multi-use rooms, reconfigurable furniture, and open spaces that can adapt to different events and activities are key to a dynamic and sustainable community hub. Technology integration. Incorporating state-of-the-art technology can extend the hub's capabilities. Free Wi-Fi, interactive displays, smartboards, and charging stations help make it a modern nexus for information sharing and learning. Sustainable practices. Going green. Sustainability isn't just a buzzword, it's a responsibility. Employing green building practices, using energy-efficient appliances, implementing recycling programs, and designing with natural light in mind can make your community hub environmentally friendly. Building a strong identity. Branding matters. Developing a strong visual and cultural identity through branding can help your community hub become instantly recognizable and resonate with local residents. This could include logos, signage, and consistent use of colors and motifs that reflect the community spirit. Programming for success. Activities for all ages. Offer a diverse range of programs catering to different age groups and interests. From after-school programs for children to fitness classes for seniors, a successful community hub provides a diverse calendar of events. Partnerships are beneficial. Form partnerships with local businesses, educational institutions, nonprofits, and artists to provide varied and rich content. These collaborations can lead to a more comprehensive range of services and activities, as well as shared resources. Conclusion: building more than just a building. Developing a community hub is about fostering a sense of belonging, enabling personal growth, and improving community resilience. Through thoughtful design, community engagement, and a dedication to inclusivity, your hub can grow to become the heart of the neighborhood. A successful community hub isn't just built with bricks and mortar. It's built on the dreams and aspirations of its members, striving to provide a sanctuary within the urban landscape. To do: create a plan for setting up a community hub. Short step-by-step plan. 1. Identify the location. Research potential locations for the community hub, considering factors such as accessibility, space requirements, and proximity to the target audience. For example, explore available spaces in local community centers or libraries. 2. Engage stakeholders. Reach out to key stakeholders such as local authorities, community leaders, and potential partners to discuss the idea of establishing a community hub. For instance, schedule meetings with relevant stakeholders to present the concept and gather their input. 3. Create a needs assessment. Conduct a needs assessment within the community to determine the specific services and resources that would be most beneficial. This could involve surveys, focus groups, or interviews with community members to gather insights. 4. Develop a preliminary budget. Outline a preliminary budget for the establishment and operation of the community hub, considering expenses such as rent, utilities, staffing, and resources. Research similar initiatives to gather cost estimates. 5. Draft a concept proposal. Prepare a written proposal outlining the vision, mission, and objectives of the community hub, along with the identified location, stakeholder engagement outcomes, needs assessment findings, and budget considerations. This proposal will serve as a foundation for further discussions and planning. 6. Seek community input. Organize a community meeting or workshop to present the concept proposal and gather feedback from the broader community. This could involve inviting local residents, organizations, and potential hub users to contribute ideas and suggestions. 7. Refine the plan based on feedback. Review the feedback gathered from the community meeting and make necessary adjustments to the concept proposal. Consider incorporating community suggestions and addressing any concerns raised during the feedback session. 8. Finalize the plan. Once the concept proposal is refined, finalize the plan for creating the community hub, including securing the chosen location, formalizing partnerships, and preparing for the next steps in the implementation process. The best solution, 10/10. The best solution is to carefully follow each step, ensuring thorough research and community involvement to create a practical and effective plan for establishing a successful community hub. Incorporating additional services. Did you know that many successful spaces are those that offer more than just the basics? By providing a range of services, facilities become more than just a location. They evolve into vibrant community landmarks. Let's delve into how you can transform your space with additional services. Understanding the value of additional services. Adding services to your space can significantly enhance its value and appeal. Here's why. Increased attraction. Diverse amenities attract a wider audience. Enhanced experience. Additional services contribute to a richer, more memorable experience for visitors. Community building. Services that meet community needs help in fostering a sense of belonging. Sustainability. A variety of services can ensure a steady stream of revenue and usage, contributing to the long-term sustainability of the space. Identifying potential services. Before incorporating new services, conduct an assessment of your target audience's needs and interests. Consider surveys, focus groups, or community meetings to gain insights. Potential services could include educational programs, workshops, classes, or lectures that cater to different age groups and interests. Wellness services. From fitness classes to spa facilities, wellness is an attractive draw. Cultural activities. Art exhibitions, music performances, or theater plays can enrich the cultural fabric of the space. Food and beverage, cafes, restaurants, or farmers markets can become social hubs themselves. Green spaces. Gardens or greenhouses for community gardening or educational purposes. Childcare. On-site childcare services can be a major draw for families. Co-working spaces. With the rise of remote work, a co-working space offers an essential service for professionals. Design considerations for service areas. When integrating new services, the design and layout of these areas are crucial. Ensure accessibility, comfort, and functionality with these considerations. Zoning and flow. Each service should have its clearly defined space with thoughtful flow between areas. Flexibility. Multi-use spaces can adapt to different services or events. Technology. Modern amenities should include high-speed internet, charging stations, and smart systems for booking and managing services. Comfort. Adequate seating, lighting, and climate control are essential for a pleasant experience. Branding. Each service area should align with the overall brand and aesthetic of the facility. Implementation strategy. Prioritize the rollout of new services based on demand, cost, and impact. Here's a potential strategy. 1. Pilot programs. Test services on a small scale before fully implementing them to gauge interest and viability. 2. Partnerships. Collaborate with local businesses or organizations to offer services, sharing costs and benefits. 3. Community engagement. Involve local stakeholders in the decision-making process for a more community-centered approach. 4. Scheduling. Plan for a phased approach, launching services systematically rather than all at once. Marketing your services. Once you have your services in place, it's vital to let people know. Promotional campaigns. Use social media, local press, and community bulletin boards to announce new services. Incentives. Offer discounts or free trial periods to attract initial users. Feedback loops. Encourage users to provide feedback which can be used for further refinement and marketing. Measuring success. To determine the effectiveness of your additional services, you'll need to track usage. Analyze which services are the most popular and at what times. Customer satisfaction. Use surveys and feedback forms to measure the user experience. Financial performance. Monitor the revenue and costs associated with each service to ensure economic sustainability. By thoughtfully incorporating additional services into your space, you're not just building a sanctuary, you're creating a dynamic environment that meets a multitude of needs and desires. This holistic approach can set your space apart as a true community asset that offers something for everyone. To do, identify and integrate additional services into the current project. Short step-by-step plan. 1. Research potential additional services that would complement the current project, such as customer support, maintenance, or training. Example: utilize online resources, industry publications, and professional networks to identify potential additional services that could enhance the project's overall value. 2. Evaluate the feasibility and impact of each identified service on the project's goals and objectives. Example: consider the cost, resources required, and potential benefits of each additional service to determine which ones align best with the project's needs. 3. Develop a plan for integrating the selected additional services into the current project, including timelines and resource allocation. Example: create a detailed implementation strategy that outlines how each additional service will be incorporated, specifying roles and responsibilities for the team. 4. Communicate the plan for incorporating additional services with relevant stakeholders and obtain any necessary approvals or feedback. Example: present the proposed plan to project sponsors, team members, and other key stakeholders, seeking their input and buy-in before proceeding with implementation. Chapter 3. Ensuring Sanctuaries' Legacy. Did you know that approximately 30% of businesses fail because they run out of cash or can't raise new capital? When it comes to nonprofit organizations like sanctuaries, ensuring a lasting legacy requires careful planning and execution. Let's explore how to secure the future of these important havens. Crafting a long-term strategic plan. Vision and mission clarity. Sanctuaries must have a clear vision and mission. These should go beyond short-term goals and consider the sanctuary's impact decades into the future. Clarify the organization's purpose and how you foresee its evolution. Scenario planning. Consider various future scenarios that could impact the sanctuary's survival. Contingency plans should be laid out for unexpected events such as natural disasters or economic downturns. Financial health and sustainability. Diversifying income streams. Relying on one source of funding is risky. Sanctuaries should diversify through grants, donations, memberships, sponsorships, and perhaps social enterprises. Creating an endowment fund. An endowment fund can provide long-term financial security by generating a steady income stream. It's a pool of money invested to support the ongoing operations of the sanctuary. Legacy-giving programs. Encourage supporters to leave a legacy through wills, living trusts, or as a beneficiary on retirement accounts and life insurance policies. Operational efficiency and innovation. Efficiency audits. Regularly assess operational efficiency. This means evaluating cost-effectiveness and looking for ways to reduce waste without compromising care standards. Technological investment. Investing in technology can streamline operations and open up new possibilities for revenue and efficiency. Community and relationships. Building strong networks. Maintain strong relationships with supporters, volunteers, and other sanctuaries. These networks can be vital lifelines during tough times. Educational outreach. Education programs can raise awareness, foster community support, and ensure future generations remain engaged with the sanctuary's mission. Legal and ethical compliance. Regular policy review. Make sure the sanctuary complies with all relevant laws and ethical guidelines. This protects against legal troubles that could jeopardize the sanctuary's future. Governance and leadership training. Ensuring the board of directors and leadership teams is well trained and informed about the sanctuary's mission and best practices can safeguard against mismanagement. Example 1. Building an endowment fund. Imagine a wildlife sanctuary that starts a campaign to build an endowment fund. The campaign emphasizes the importance of a permanent fund to ensure the care of animals and the preservation of the sanctuary for future generations. Donors are invited to become legacy supporters, contributing to a lasting foundation for the sanctuary's work. Example 2. Technological innovations. A farm animal sanctuary could innovate by using drone technology to monitor the well-being of animals over large areas, ultimately saving costs on manpower and being more responsive to the animals' needs. By focusing on these key aspects, sanctuaries can lay a strong foundation for a future where their work and the impact of their legacy can continue to grow and flourish. To do, ensure sanctuary's legacy. Short step-by-step plan. 1. Review the organization's mission and goals to understand how to preserve its legacy. Example, review the original mission statement, past accomplishments, and the impact the organization has made in the community. 2. Identify key programs or initiatives that embody the legacy of the organization. Example, identify specific programs, events, or projects that have been instrumental in shaping the organization's legacy. 3. Develop a plan to document and preserve the history and impact of these key programs. Example, create a strategy to collect testimonials, photos, videos, and other artifacts that showcase the impact of these programs. 4. Consider ways to leverage technology and social media to share the organization's legacy with a wider audience. Example, explore options for creating a digital archive or developing social media campaigns that highlight the organization's impact over time. 5. Engage with stakeholders, including past beneficiaries, volunteers, and donors, to gather their perspectives on the organization's legacy. Example, conduct interviews or surveys to capture first-hand accounts of how the organization has made a difference in people's lives. 6. Establish a plan for ongoing legacy preservation and education within the organization. Example, develop training materials or workshops to ensure that new staff and volunteers understand the organization's history and impact. Basic operational needs. Providing shelter. Did you know that a sense of security begins with the knowledge that you'll always have a safe place to sleep? Shelter is not merely a roof over our heads. It is an essential human need that provides security, personal space, and protection from the elements. Let's explore the various aspects that encompass the concept of providing shelter. Understanding shelter in different contexts. Emergency shelter. Emergency shelter refers to temporary housing for individuals who are displaced due to natural disasters, conflicts, or other crises. It is often provided by humanitarian organizations and is designed to be constructed quickly and provide basic protection. Long-term shelter. Long-term shelter, by contrast, encompasses more permanent structures. This can be in the form of houses, apartments, or other long-term housing solutions, which not only offer protection from the elements, but also the comfort of a home and personal space. Transitional shelter. In between emergency and long-term shelter is transitional shelter. This type of housing supports those transitioning from immediate short-term shelter to more stable, long-term living situations. It includes improved tent-like structures or basic housing units equipped with essential amenities. Principles of providing shelter. Accessibility. Shelter should be accessible to all, especially to those in need. This involves location considerations, inclusiveness, and affordability. Durability and safety. Shelters must be durable enough to withstand environmental conditions and safe from potential hazards. This encompasses structural integrity and adherence to building codes and standards. Cultural appropriateness. Shelters should respect and reflect the cultural practices and social norms of the occupants. For example, communal spaces may be essential for certain cultures, while others might prioritize individual dwellings. Privacy. All individuals have the right to personal space and privacy. Shelter design should include features that ensure the occupants can achieve this privacy. Shelter provision process. Planning. Proper planning includes assessing the immediate needs, the number of shelters required, locating suitable sites, and obtaining necessary permissions and resources. Design. Designing shelters takes into account environmental sustainability, cultural appropriateness, materials available, and the particular needs of the community or individuals. Construction. The construction of shelters involves procuring materials, labor, and ensuring that local building practices and international guidelines are followed. Maintenance. To ensure shelters remain habitable and safe, regular maintenance is crucial. This may include repairs, additions, or modifications to meet the changing needs of the occupants. Case study. Shelter after a natural disaster. Imagine a hurricane has swept through a region, leaving many homeless. The immediate goal is to provide emergency shelter. Temporary tents might be distributed among the affected residents. As time progresses, those tents evolve into transitional shelter, with sturdier materials being utilized to weatherproof and insulate against the elements. Eventually, the focus shifts to long-term shelter solutions, like reconstruction of houses or development of new housing projects, often with improved standards to resist future natural disasters. Challenges in providing shelter. Limited resources. Often, resources are limited, be it financial, material, or human. Balancing cost against quality and durability is a complex issue. Logistical issues. Transporting materials, tools, and sometimes labor to remote or difficult-to-reach areas can be a logistical challenge. Political and legal barriers. Gaining access to land, overcoming bureaucratic hurdles, and ensuring compliance with laws and regulations can pose significant obstacles. Community engagement. Involving and gaining the trust of the local community is vital for the successful provision of shelter, but can also present challenges if not managed correctly. Environmental impact. Building shelters, especially in large numbers, has an environmental impact. It is essential to mitigate this through sustainable practices and materials. In conclusion, providing shelter is a multifaceted challenge that requires careful consideration, planning, and execution. It is not simply about putting a roof over a head, but about creating a space where people can feel safe, protected, and dignified. Whether it is for individuals who have faced a sudden calamity or for populations emerging from chronic homelessness, the fundamental principles of shelter provision remain anchored in the commitment to human well-being and community resilience. To do, build a temporary shelter for emergency relief. Short step-by-step plan. 1. Find a suitable location for the shelter, away from potential hazards such as flooding or falling debris. Example: identify a flat area with good drainage and clear of any potential dangers. 2. Gather necessary materials such as tarpaulin, ropes, and sturdy poles. Example: collect large tarpaulin sheets, strong ropes, and long wooden or metal poles. 3. Set up the frame for the shelter using the poles and secure them firmly into the ground. Example: place the poles in a square or rectangular shape and anchor them securely. 4. Drape the tarpaulin over the frame and secure it tightly with ropes to provide protection from the elements. Example: pull the tarpaulin over the frame and use the ropes to tie it down securely on all sides. 5. Ensure the shelter is stable and can withstand weather conditions. Example: test the stability by gently shaking the structure and making any necessary adjustments. The best solution: 10 tenths. This practical task involves creating a temporary shelter using readily available materials, providing immediate protection to those in need. Medical care. Did you know that access to quality medical care is a fundamental human need and right, crucial for the maintenance of health and well-being? When it comes to disaster response and humanitarian aid, medical care often becomes a critical operational need. Let's dive into the world of medical care in such contexts. Understanding medical care in disaster zones. Emergency medical response. The first stage of medical care in a disaster scenario involves emergency medical response. This includes providing first aid, stabilizing patients with life-threatening conditions, and rapid assessment of the injured to prioritize care triage. Example: in an earthquake, first responders would quickly assess victims and apply emergency care to those with severe trauma. Primary health care. Once immediate emergencies are addressed, attention turns to primary health care. This encompasses a range of services designed to promote health, prevent illness, and provide acute care. Example: after a flood, setting up a mobile clinic to treat minor injuries, prevent waterborne diseases, and provide routine medical care could illustrate primary health care in action. Medical facilities and equipment, field hospitals and clinics. Field hospitals and clinics are often set up when local health facilities are damaged or overwhelmed. They should be supplied with essential medical equipment and staffed by trained personnel. Example: a temporary clinic set up in a tent with supplies for wound care, vaccination, and maternal health services. Medical supplies. The provision of medical supplies is a cornerstone of healthcare in crisis environments. These supplies include medications, bandages, antiseptics, and specialized equipment like X-ray machines or surgical tools. Example: delivering a shipment of antibiotics and hydration salts to a region affected by a cholera outbreak. Health personnel, doctors, nurses, and paramedics. In a disaster, the roles of doctors, nurses, and paramedics expand. They not only treat injuries and illnesses, but also work to prevent the outbreak of diseases. Example: a team of doctors and nurses conducting vaccination drives in a refugee camp to prevent the spread of measles. Public health specialists. Public health specialists focus on protecting and improving the health of populations rather than individual patients. They may conduct surveillance for disease outbreaks or develop community health education programs. Example: public health officers monitoring water quality and promoting hygiene practices to prevent disease. Understanding medical logistics. Supply chain management. Ensuring a reliable supply of medical goods requires careful supply chain management. This involves planning, implementing, and controlling the efficient flow of medical goods from the manufacturer to the point of use. Example: coordinating the delivery of insulin from a central warehouse to remote clinics in a conflict zone. Disease surveillance and control. Epidemiological monitoring. Keeping track of disease patterns through epidemiological monitoring is essential in crisis situations. It can help predict and prevent outbreaks of diseases, such as malaria or dengue fever. Example: using data from local clinics to map the spread of a flu virus, allowing for targeted vaccination campaigns. Mental health and psychosocial support. Counseling and psychological services. Disasters can have a profound impact on mental health. Offering counseling and psychological services is part of comprehensive medical care. Example: providing group therapy sessions for survivors of a natural disaster to help them cope with trauma. Public education and health promotion. Health education campaigns. Health education campaigns are crucial in informing the public about health risks and promoting behaviors that support health and well-being. Example: a campaign teaching the importance of hand washing to prevent the spread of infectious diseases. Challenges in medical care provision. Access to remote areas. Reaching those in need when infrastructure is damaged poses a significant challenge in delivering medical care. Cultural sensitivity. Medical care must be culturally appropriate to be effective. Health workers need to be aware of local customs and beliefs. Example: a healthcare provider ensuring that female patients have the option to be treated by female doctors in cultures where this is important. Security concerns. In conflict zones, ensuring the safety of health workers and patients is paramount. Example: providing armed escorts for ambulances in a war-torn region to prevent attacks on medical personnel. By understanding these components and challenges, we can appreciate the comprehensive approach required to meet the medical needs in crises and disaster situations. To do: administer first aid for a minor injury. Short step-by-step plan. 1. Clean the wound with soap and water to prevent infection. For example, gently wash a small cut on the hand with mild soap and warm water. 2. Apply an antiseptic ointment to the wound to aid in healing and prevent infection. For example, apply a thin layer of antibiotic ointment to the cleaned cut. 3. Cover the wound with a sterile bandage to protect it from further contamination. For example, carefully place a bandage over the cut and ensure it is securely in place. The best solution, 10/10. This practical to-do list provides clear and actionable steps for administering first aid for a minor injury, ensuring the proper care and protection of the wound. Chapter 4. Powerful Marketing Strategies. Did you know that it takes an average of 5 to 7 brand impressions before someone will remember your brand? In today's digital world, where consumers are bombarded with advertisements from all directions, it's crucial for companies to stand out. Here are some potent marketing strategies that can help elevate your brand and drive engagement. Leveraging social proof. Social proof is the psychological phenomenon where people copy the actions of others in an attempt to reflect correct behavior for a given situation. Harnessing this can be a game changer for marketers. Customer testimonials. Encourage satisfied customers to share their experiences. Feature these testimonials on your website or across social media channels to show that real people endorse your product. User-generated content. Create campaigns that inspire customers to post about your product. User-generated content not only provides authentic material for your brand, but also increases customer engagement. Influencer partnerships. Collaborate with influencers who resonate with your brand. These partnerships can help you tap into an already engaged audience that trusts the influencer's recommendations. Embracing data-driven marketing. Having a data-driven approach allows you to understand your audience and tailor your marketing strategies effectively. Analytics tools. Use tools like Google Analytics to gather insights about your customers' behavior. This data can help streamline your marketing efforts to the channels with the highest return on investment, ROI. Customization and personalization. Analyze customer data to personalize marketing messages. This could range from product recommendations to personalized emails, significantly increasing conversion rates. Creating shareable content. To widen your reach, create content that is highly shareable. Content that either informs, entertains, or inspires is more likely to be passed along by your audience. Infographics. Design visually arresting infographics that condense information in an engaging way, making it handy for your audience to share on platforms like Pinterest or LinkedIn. Viral challenges. Think of a fun, creative challenge that represents your brand and encourages participation, something that has the potential to go viral. Utilizing search engine optimization, SEO. SEO is crucial in ensuring your content and brand are easily discoverable by potential customers. Keyword research. Find out what your potential customers are searching for and integrate these keywords into your website content and blog posts. Mobile optimization. With more than half of all internet traffic shopping from a mobile device, ensure that your website is mobile-friendly to improve your SEO ranking. Loyalty programs. Rewarding repeated business encourages loyalty. Implement a loyalty program that offers exclusive perks or discounts to returning customers. Point system. Create a system where customers earn points for each purchase, which they can redeem for rewards later. Membership benefits. Offer a membership that provides special benefits, such as free shipping or members-only content, to foster a community around your brand. Exploring new channels and technologies. Stay ahead of the curve by exploring new marketing channels and technologies. AR/VR experiences. Augmented reality, VR, or virtual reality, VR, can create unique experiences for your customers, allowing them to engage with your product in a novel way. Chatbots and AI. Implement chatbots to improve customer service and engagement. AI can also assist with marketing by analyzing data and automating tasks. Incorporating these strategies into your marketing plans can substantially enhance your brand's visibility and attract more meaningful engagement from your target audience. Remember, the key is to be consistent, authentic, and always ready to adapt to changing market conditions. To do, create a practical marketing strategy for a new product launch. Short step-by-step plan. 1. Identify the target audience. Research and identify the specific demographics and psychographics of the potential customers for the new product. For example, if the product is a new line of athletic shoes, the target audience might be active individuals aged 18, 35 who are interested in fitness and sports. 2. Develop a compelling brand story. Craft a brand narrative that resonates with the target audience and communicates the unique value proposition of the product. For instance, if the new product is an eco-friendly cleaning solution, the brand story could emphasize sustainability and environmental responsibility. 3. Choose the most effective marketing channels. Select the most suitable marketing channels to reach the target audience, such as social media, influencer partnerships, or email marketing. Tailor the strategy to fit the preferences and behaviors of the identified audience. For example, if the target audience is active on Instagram and YouTube, prioritize visual content and influencer collaborations. 4. Create engaging content. Develop high-quality and engaging content that showcases the product's features and benefits. This could include product demonstration videos, customer testimonials, or interactive social media posts. 5. Implement a launch plan. Outline a detailed plan for the product launch, including specific dates for marketing activities, promotional offers, and any events or collaborations. Ensure that the launch plan aligns with the overall marketing strategy and is designed to create excitement and anticipation among the target audience. Fundraising and expansion. Did you know that over 2/3 of startups struggle with scaling their operations due to insufficient capital? Effective fundraising and expansion strategies are vital to an organization's sustainability and growth, as they ensure the necessary resources to broaden its impact. The importance of fundraising. Fundraising isn't just about gathering resources. It's the lifeblood of any nonprofit or startup seeking to grow and sustain its impact. Successful fundraising is building relationships, cultivating lasting partnerships with donors and investors, sustaining operations, securing the funds needed to maintain and improve current activities. Funding expansion, acquiring the capital necessary for growth and scaling operations. Types of fundraising. 1. Grants. Funds provided by the government, foundations, or corporations that typically require a specific project or purpose. 2. Crowdfunding, engaging the broader community to contribute small amounts towards a specific goal or project. 3. Major gifts. Large donations given by individuals or entities, often secured through personal relationships and tailored pitches. 4. Events, hosting galas, sports events, or competitions that raise funds while also raising awareness. Crafting a fundraising strategy. Define your objectives. Clearly outline what the funds will be used for. Objectives may include hiring new staff, expanding to new locations, developing new programs, know the audience. Tailor your fundraising efforts to potential donors or investors by understanding their interests, prior giving history, capacity to give. Create a compelling pitch. Your pitch should articulate the problem. What critical issue does your organization address? The solution. How does your organization solve this problem? The ask. How much are you seeking, and for what specific initiatives? Utilize tools and technology. Tools to help in your fundraising endeavors include CRM software to manage donor relations and track fundraising progress. Social media to reach a broader audience and engage with potential donors. Online donation platforms for easy and secure collection of funds. Planning for expansion. Assess the feasibility. Conduct a thorough analysis to answer, is there a demand for expansion? Does the organization have the capacity to handle growth? What are the potential risks associated with expanding? Financial projections. Develop financial projections including forecasting increased revenue streams, estimating additional costs, calculating the break-even point, building the team. Consider the need for additional staff or training for current staff. Leadership requirements for new locations or projects. The organizational structure that will support growth. Example, expanding a community program. Imagine a local community center looking to extend its after-school program to more neighborhoods. 1. Fundraising. The center sets up a crowdfunding campaign targeting local businesses and community members. 2. Planning. They assess which neighborhoods have the most demand and the resources needed to serve more children. 3. Execution. Upon reaching the funding goal, they hire additional staff and equip new spaces to welcome more kids. Measuring impact and adjusting course. Set metrics for success. Define what success looks like with specific measurable objectives, such as number of individuals served, increase in program availability, growth in donor engagement, regular review and adaptation. Schedule periodic evaluations to measure progress and make necessary adjustments, ensuring that fundraising strategies are still effective. Expansion efforts align with the organization's mission. Conclusion. Fundraising and expansion are complex but crucial components of an organization's survival and growth. By effectively leveraging resources, meticulously planning, and continuously evaluating impact, organizations can scale sustainably and maximize their positive influence on the communities they serve. To do: identify potential fundraising opportunities for sanctuaries expansion. Short step-by-step plan. 1. Research potential grant opportunities from government and private foundations. Example: check websites such as grants.gov and Foundation Center for relevant grants. 2. Explore corporate sponsorship opportunities by reaching out to local businesses and larger corporations. Example: draft a sponsorship proposal highlighting the benefits for the sponsors and sanctuary. 3. Organize a fundraising event to engage the community and attract individual donors. Example: plan a charity auction or a gala dinner and set a date and location for the event. 4. Create a crowdfunding campaign to involve online donors. Example: utilize platforms like GoFundMe or Kickstarter to launch a compelling fundraising campaign. Chapter 5. Ensuring Sanctuaries' Legacy. Did you know that approximately 30% of businesses fail because they run out of cash or can't raise new capital? When it comes to nonprofit organizations like sanctuaries, ensuring a lasting legacy requires careful planning and execution. Let's explore how to secure the future of these important havens. Crafting a long-term strategic plan. Vision and mission clarity. Sanctuaries must have a clear vision and mission. These should go beyond short-term goals and consider the sanctuary's impact decades into the future. Clarify the organization's purpose and how you foresee its evolution. Scenario planning. Consider various future scenarios that could impact the sanctuary's survival. Contingency plans should be laid out for unexpected events such as natural disasters or economic downturns. Financial health and sustainability. Diversifying income streams. Relying on one source of funding is risky. Sanctuaries should diversify through grants, donations, memberships, sponsorships, and perhaps social enterprises. Creating an endowment fund. An endowment fund can provide long-term financial security by generating a steady income stream. It's a pool of money invested to support the ongoing operations of the sanctuary. Legacy-giving programs. Encourage supporters to leave a legacy through wills, living trusts, or as a beneficiary on retirement accounts and life insurance policies. Operational efficiency and innovation. Efficiency audits. Regularly assess operational efficiency. This means evaluating cost-effectiveness and looking for ways to reduce waste without compromising care standards. Technological investment. Investing in technology can streamline operations and open up new possibilities for revenue and efficiency. Community and relationships. Building strong networks. Maintain strong relationships with supporters, volunteers, and other sanctuaries. These networks can be vital lifelines during tough times. Educational outreach. Education programs can raise awareness, foster community support, and ensure future generations remain engaged with the sanctuary's mission. Legal and ethical compliance. Regular policy review. Make sure the sanctuary complies with all relevant laws and ethical guidelines. This protects against legal troubles that could jeopardize the sanctuary's future. Governance and leadership training. Ensuring the board of directors and leadership teams is well-trained and informed about the sanctuary's mission and best practices can safeguard against mismanagement. Example 1. Building an endowment fund. Imagine a wildlife sanctuary that starts a campaign to build an endowment fund. The campaign emphasizes the importance of a permanent fund to ensure the care of animals and the preservation of the sanctuary for future generations. Donors are invited to become legacy supporters, contributing to a lasting foundation for the sanctuary's work. Example 2. Technological innovations. A farm animal sanctuary could innovate by using drone technology to monitor the well-being of animals over large areas, ultimately saving costs on manpower and being more responsive to the animals' needs. By focusing on these key aspects, sanctuaries can lay a strong foundation for a future where their work and the impact of their legacy can continue to grow and flourish. To do: ensure sanctuary's legacy. Short step-by-step plan. 1. Review the organization's mission and goals to understand how to preserve its legacy. Example: review the original mission statement, past accomplishments, and the impact the organization has made in the community. 2. Identify key programs or initiatives that embody the legacy of the organization. Example: identify specific programs, events, or projects that have been instrumental in shaping the organization's legacy. 3. Develop a plan to document and preserve the history and impact of these key programs. Example: create a strategy to collect testimonials, photos, videos, and other artifacts that showcase the impact of these programs. 4. Consider ways to leverage technology and social media to share the organization's legacy with a wider audience. Example: explore options for creating a digital archive or developing social media campaigns that highlight the organization's impact over time. 5. Engage with stakeholders, including past beneficiaries, volunteers, and donors, to gather their perspectives on the organization's legacy. Example: conduct interviews or surveys to capture first-hand accounts of how the organization has made a difference in people's lives. 6. Establish a plan for ongoing legacy preservation and education within the organization. Example: develop training materials or workshops to ensure that new staff and volunteers understand the organization's history and impact. Basic operational needs. Providing shelter. Did you know that a sense of security begins with the knowledge that you'll always have a safe place to sleep? Shelter is not merely a roof over our heads. It is an essential human need that provides security, personal space, and protection from the elements. Let's explore the various aspects that encompass the concept of providing shelter. Understanding shelter in different contexts. Emergency shelter. Emergency shelter refers to temporary housing for individuals who are displaced due to natural disasters, conflicts, or other crises. It is often provided by humanitarian organizations and is designed to be constructed quickly and provide basic protection. Long-term shelter. Long-term shelter, by contrast, encompasses more permanent structures. This can be in the form of houses, apartments, or other long-term housing solutions, which not only offer protection from the elements, but also the comfort of a home and personal space. Transitional shelter. In between emergency and long-term shelter is transitional shelter. This type of housing supports those transitioning from immediate short-term shelter to more stable, long-term living situations. It includes improved tent-like structures or basic housing units equipped with essential amenities. Principles of providing shelter. Accessibility. Shelter should be accessible to all, especially to those in need. This involves location considerations, inclusiveness, and affordability. Durability and safety. Shelters must be durable enough to withstand environmental conditions and safe from potential hazards. This encompasses structural integrity and adherence to building codes and standards. Cultural appropriateness. Shelters should respect and reflect the cultural practices and social norms of the occupants. For example, communal spaces may be essential for certain cultures, while others might prioritize individual dwellings. Privacy. All individuals have the right to personal space and privacy. Shelter design should include features that ensure the occupants can achieve this privacy. Shelter provision process. Planning. Proper planning includes assessing the immediate needs, the number of shelters required, locating suitable sites, and obtaining necessary permissions and resources. Design. Designing shelters takes into account environmental sustainability, cultural appropriateness, materials available, and the particular needs of the community or individuals. Construction. The construction of shelters involves procuring materials, labor, and ensuring that local building practices and international guidelines are followed. Maintenance. To ensure shelters remain habitable and safe, regular maintenance is crucial. This may include repairs, additions, or modifications to meet the changing needs of the occupants. Case study. Shelter after a natural disaster. Imagine a hurricane has swept through a region, leaving many homeless. The immediate goal is to provide emergency shelter. Temporary tents might be distributed among the affected residents. As time progresses, those tents evolve into transitional shelter, with sturdier materials being utilized to weatherproof and insulate against the elements. Eventually, the focus shifts to long-term shelter solutions, like reconstruction of houses or development of new housing projects, often with improved standards to resist future natural disasters. Challenges in providing shelter: limited resources. Often, resources are limited, be it financial, material, or human. Balancing cost against quality and durability is a complex issue. Logistical issues. Transporting materials, tools, and sometimes labor to remote or difficult-to-reach areas can be a logistical challenge. Political and legal barriers. Gaining access to land, overcoming bureaucratic hurdles, and ensuring compliance with laws and regulations can pose significant obstacles. Community engagement. Involving and gaining the trust of the local community is vital for the successful provision of shelter, but can also present challenges if not managed correctly. Environmental impact. Building shelters, especially in large numbers, has an environmental impact. It is essential to mitigate this through sustainable practices and materials. In conclusion, providing shelter is a multifaceted challenge that requires careful consideration, planning, and execution. It is not simply about putting a roof over a head, but about creating a space where people can feel safe, protected, and dignified. Whether it is for individuals who have faced a sudden calamity or for populations emerging from chronic homelessness, the fundamental principles of shelter provision remain anchored in the commitment to human well-being and community resilience. To do, build a temporary shelter for emergency relief. Short step-by-step plan. 1. Find a suitable location for the shelter, away from potential hazards such as flooding or falling debris. Example: identify a flat area with good drainage and clear of any potential dangers. 2. Gather necessary materials such as tarpaulin, ropes, and sturdy poles. Example: collect large tarpaulin sheets, strong ropes, and long wooden or metal poles. 3. Set up the frame for the shelter using the poles and secure them firmly into the ground. Example: place the poles in a square or rectangular shape and anchor them securely. 4. Drape the tarpaulin over the frame and secure it tightly with ropes to provide protection from the elements. Example: pull the tarpaulin over the frame and use the ropes to tie it down securely on all sides. 5. Ensure the shelter is stable and can withstand weather conditions. Example: test the stability by gently shaking the structure and making any necessary adjustments. The best solution: 10 tenths. This practical task involves creating a temporary shelter using readily available materials, providing immediate protection to those in need. Medical care. Did you know that access to quality medical care is a fundamental human need and right, crucial for the maintenance of health and well-being? When it comes to disaster response and humanitarian aid, medical care often becomes a critical operational need. Let's dive into the world of medical care in such contexts. Understanding medical care in disaster zones. Emergency medical response. The first stage of medical care in a disaster scenario involves emergency medical response. This includes providing first aid, stabilizing patients with life-threatening conditions, and rapid assessment of the injured to prioritize care triage. Example: in an earthquake, first responders would quickly assess victims and apply emergency care to those with severe trauma. Primary health care. Once immediate emergencies are addressed, attention turns to primary health care. This encompasses a range of services designed to promote health, prevent illness, and provide acute care. Example: after a flood, setting up a mobile clinic to treat minor injuries, prevent waterborne diseases, and provide routine medical care could illustrate primary health care in action. Medical facilities and equipment, field hospitals and clinics. Field hospitals and clinics are often set up when local health facilities are damaged or overwhelmed. They should be supplied with essential medical equipment and staffed by trained personnel. Example: a temporary clinic set up in a tent with supplies for wound care, vaccination, and maternal health services. Medical supplies. The provision of medical supplies is a cornerstone of healthcare in crisis environments. These supplies include medications, bandages, antiseptics, and specialized equipment like X-ray machines or surgical tools. Chapter 6: Sustainability and Growth. Guidance on Financial Management. Did you know that many organizations face financial difficulties not because they lack funds, but due to poor financial management? Effective financial management is crucial for the sustainability and growth of any entity. Here's what you need to know to keep your organization financially healthy. Understanding financial management. Financial management involves planning, organizing, directing, and controlling the financial activities of an organization. It is the backbone of any business strategy and includes principles that allow entities to manage their finances efficiently. Key concepts in financial management. Working capital management. This is the process of managing the short-term assets and liabilities of the organization. Ensuring that a company has sufficient liquidity to meet its short-term obligations is critical. Investment analysis. Making informed decisions on where to allocate resources for the best possible returns is a foundational aspect of financial management. Budgeting. Budgets help in planning future financial activities. They serve as blueprints for business operations and financial decision-making. Financial reporting and analysis. Interpreting financial data to evaluate an organization's performance and make future projections is a core aspect of financial oversight. Risk management and insurance. Identifying potential financial risks and making provisions to mitigate them safeguards an organization's assets and earning capacity. Developing a financial strategy. Creating a financial strategy involves setting goals and defining measures to achieve them. A strategic approach aids in aligning financial management with overall organizational objectives. Steps for creating a financial strategy. 1. Define financial goals. Outline what you want to achieve in the short term and long term regarding financial health and sustainability. 2. Analyze current financial status. A thorough financial analysis will give you a clear picture of where your organization stands. 3. Develop financial policies. Implementing financial policies acts as a guide for handling financial transactions and making fiscal decisions. 4. Forecasting. Use historical data to predict future financial trends and performance. 5. Monitoring and evaluation. Regularly reviewing financial performance is vital for identifying issues and making timely adjustments. Financial decision-making. Every financial decision should contribute to the overall welfare of the organization. Decision-making is not just about cutting costs, but about optimizing the use of available resources. Principles of sound financial decision-making. Cost-benefit analysis. For any potential expenditure, the benefits should outweigh the costs. Long-term perspective. Focus on decisions that will benefit the organization in the long run, even if they require short-term sacrifices. Conservatism. Avoid overly optimistic assumptions in financial planning and keep a careful watch on risks. Flexibility. The financial plan should be adaptable to changes in the business environment. Maintaining financial control. Control mechanisms are necessary to ensure that financial plans are being followed and the organization's financial health is monitored. Tools for financial control. Budgetary control. Compare budgeted figures with actual figures to monitor performance and exert financial control. Internal auditing. Regular audits help in detecting and correcting discrepancies and fraud. Financial ratios. Utilizing ratios like liquidity ratios, profitability ratios, and debt ratios can help in assessing the financial stability and performance of an organization. Example: budgeting for sustainability. Let's consider a nonprofit that wants to ensure its programs are sustainably funded year over year. They would start by creating a comprehensive budget that factors in their program costs, administrative expenses, and projected revenues from donations and grants. Through cost-benefit analysis, they decide to invest in fundraising software to improve their donor. Outreach. even though it represents a significant expense up front. By comparing actual fundraising results with their budgeted expectations, they can adjust their strategies as needed to meet their financial goals, ensuring both the immediate and future sustainability of their programs. To do, create a financial management plan for Sanctuary. Short step-by-step plan. 1. Review current financial statements and determine the organization's current financial status. Example: gather all financial statements, including income statements and balance sheets, and analyze them to understand Sanctuary's current financial position. 2. Identify areas for improvement and potential cost-saving measures. Example: look for any unnecessary expenses or areas where costs can be reduced, such as renegotiating contracts with suppliers or finding more cost-effective vendors. 3. Develop a budget for the upcoming year based on Sanctuary's financial goals and needs. Example: create a detailed budget that allocates funds for essential expenses such as animal care, facility maintenance, and staff salaries, while also accounting for potential growth or unexpected expenses. 4. Implement financial controls and monitoring systems to track spending and ensure adherence to the budget. Example: set up regular financial reviews and reporting mechanisms to monitor spending and identify any deviations from the budget. 5. Consider seeking professional financial advice or consultation to ensure the financial management plan is comprehensive and effective. Example: reach out to a financial advisor or consultant with experience in nonprofit organizations to provide guidance and expertise in creating and implementing the financial management plan. Volunteer management. Did you know that volunteers are often considered the lifeblood of nonprofit organizations? They bring passion, skills, and their invaluable time to causes they care deeply about. Managing these wonderful assets effectively can ensure your organization's success and create a positive impact on the community you serve. Here's how you can do it through what we'll call operational magic. Understanding volunteer motivations. Motivation magic. Every volunteer has a unique reason for choosing to donate their time. It could be a personal connection to the cause, a desire to learn new skills, or the need to meet new people. Understanding these motivations is key to keeping volunteers engaged and satisfied. Example: Jane volunteers at an animal shelter because she loves animals and wants to make a difference in their lives. Tailoring her tasks to interact directly with the animals would keep her motivation high. Recruitment of volunteers. Recruitment rhythm. Recruitment is about attracting and finding the right people for the right roles. It involves clear communication about the organization's needs and the roles available. Example: using social media to broadcast volunteer opportunities to potential volunteers who already show interest in similar causes. Training and support. Training torch, proper training and support, empower volunteers to perform tasks effectively and safely. This not only helps maintain a high standard of work, but also ensures that volunteers feel confident and valued. Example: holding a monthly training session that covers safety procedures, specific job tasks, and an open Q&A section for newcomers. Maintaining engagement. Engagement, elixir. Keeping volunteers engaged is about creating a supportive community and recognizing their contributions. Regular feedback, social events, and appreciation gestures all contribute to higher engagement levels. Example: organizing a small event to celebrate the milestones reached by the organization thanks to the volunteers' efforts. Assessing volunteer impact. Impact illumination. Evaluating the effectiveness of the volunteer program helps in understanding the impact of volunteers' work. Collecting data on volunteer hours and matching them with outcomes can illustrate the program's success. Example: measuring the increased rate of adoption at an animal shelter after a campaign that heavily involved volunteer participation. Retention. Strategies. Retention rainbow. It's often more effective to retain dedicated volunteers than to recruit new ones. Retention strategies include understanding volunteers' needs, providing development opportunities, and ensuring their efforts align with their motivations. Example: offering a volunteer the chance to lead a project after demonstrating their commitment and skill advancement. Communication is key. Communication cadence. Clear and consistent communication fosters trust and minimizes misunderstandings. This includes sharing the organization's goals, updates, and changes that may affect volunteers. Example: a monthly newsletter that highlights achievements, upcoming events, and features a volunteer of the month. Building a community. Communal circle. The social aspect of volunteering can be a significant draw. Fostering a sense of community among volunteers encourages a supportive environment where experiences are shared and relationships are formed. Example: creating a volunteer mentorship program where seasoned volunteers help guide the newcomers. Problem solving and conflict resolution. Peace protocol. Conflict is natural where people are involved. Having protocols in place to deal with conflicts swiftly and fairly can prevent larger issues. Example: a clear policy on how to handle disagreements among volunteers, which includes mediation by a neutral party. Feedback and improvement. Feedback flux, actively seeking feedback from volunteers and acting on it, demonstrates that their opinions are valued and considered. Always look for ways to improve the volunteer experience based on their input. Example: an anonymous survey that allows volunteers to voice their thoughts on the program and suggest improvements. By integrating these points into your volunteer management strategy, you will be applying operational magic to create a thriving and effective volunteer base. Remember, the key is to keep the human element at the forefront of your operations, appreciating and nurturing the individuals who give their time for your cause. This is not only the heart of good volunteer management, but the essence of a compassionate organization. To do, create a volunteer management plan for the sanctuary. Short step-by-step plan. 1. Update volunteer database with all necessary information such as contact details, availability, and skills. For example, use a spreadsheet to organize volunteers' names, phone numbers, email addresses, and availability. 2. Schedule regular volunteer orientations to train new volunteers on sanctuary policies, procedures, and safety guidelines. For example, create an online sign-up form for orientations and send out reminders with the date, time, and location. 3. Assign volunteers to specific tasks and shifts based on their availability and skills. For example, use a scheduling tool to match volunteers with tasks such as animal care, event support, or facility maintenance. 4. Communicate regularly with volunteers through email updates, newsletters, and social media to keep them informed about sanctuary news and upcoming events. For example, send out a monthly newsletter with volunteer spotlights, upcoming events, and important reminders. 5. Recognize and appreciate volunteers for their contributions through thank you notes, volunteer appreciation events, and acknowledgement on social media. For example, create a Volunteer of the Month program to recognize outstanding volunteers and their efforts. The best solution, 10/10ths. This practical plan will help efficiently manage and engage volunteers at the sanctuary, ensuring a positive experience for both the volunteers and the sanctuary. Marketing and community engagement. Unveiling the art of storytelling. Have you ever found yourself utterly entranced by a story, hanging on to every word and feeling as if you were right there within the action? That magnetic pull is the power of effective storytelling, a crucial tool in today's marketing and community engagement strategies. It's not simply about relaying facts and figures, but about weaving a narrative that connects with your audience on a deep and emotional level. The essence of storytelling and marketing. Storytelling in marketing is more than just a buzzword. It's a strategic approach that can lead to a strong emotional connection with your audience, which can drive engagement and loyalty. Emotion is at the very heart of human decision-making. It shapes our understanding of the world and prompts us to take action. That's why a brand narrative infused with human experiences can transform the way customers perceive and interact with a brand. Crafting an irresistible brand narrative. A compelling brand narrative paints a picture of your brand's history, mission, challenges, and victories. It's not just about what you sell, but the story behind it, your why. To craft a narrative that resonates. 1. Sure. Identify your core values. What does your brand stand for? Your story should be authentically tied to your brand's core values and principles. 2. Know your protagonists. Understand who your customers are and what matters to them. They are the heroes of your story, not just passive listeners. 3. Plot your journey. Like any good story, Your brand journey should have a clearly defined beginning, your origins, middle, the challenges you face and solutions you provide, and an end, your vision for the future. Emotive storytelling elements. Use emotive storytelling elements to craft a narrative that strikes a chord. Challenges. Everyone loves an underdog story. Share the challenges your brand has faced and how they were overcome. Triumphs. Celebrate your victories and share the joy with your audience. It instills hope and inspiration. Relatability. Use real-life scenarios that audiences can relate to and see themselves in. Details. Specific details can make a story come alive and be more memorable. Authenticity. Be genuine in your storytelling. Audiences can detect insincerity. The role of visual storytelling. In a digital age where content is consumed rapidly, visual storytelling is more important than ever. Images, videos, infographics, and even memes can convey complex stories quickly and in an emotionally impactful way. They also increase the likelihood of your message being shared, thus expanding your brand's reach. Utilizing visual mediums. Here's how different visual mediums can be used. Images should be high quality and convey an emotion or idea that supports your narrative. Videos are incredibly powerful for storytelling and can combine elements like speech, text, music, and motion. Infographics distill complex information into easy-to-understand visuals that complement your story. Memes create a sense of community by utilizing humor and shared cultural references. Storytelling as community engagement. Engaging with your community isn't just about pushing content out. It's about creating a dialogue. Storytelling invites audiences to share their own experiences, deepening their connection to your brand. Building a dialogue. To build a vibrant community dialogue through storytelling. Encourage user-generated content. Prompt your audience to tell their own stories related to your brand. Social media engagement. Use platforms like Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, etc. to share your stories and invite feedback. Live events. Organize webinars, live streams, or Twitter chats to create real-time storytelling experiences. Analytics and feedback. Always track the performance of your storytelling efforts through analytics and feedback mechanisms. Understand what stories resonate with your audience through engagement. Metrics like shares, comments, and likes. Conversion rates to see how stories translate to actual business results. Customer feedback through surveys or direct communication for qualitative insights. Successful storytelling examples. Imagine the success of Nike's Just Do It campaign, which went beyond selling shoes and tapped into the personal triumphs of athletes. Or consider Dove's Real Beauty campaign, which featured stories of real women championing body positivity, not just advertising beauty products. This approach translates across sectors. Charity. Water tells compelling stories of the communities they help to humanize, their cause, and demonstrate the impact of donations. Local businesses often highlight customer experiences or the craftsmanship behind their products to build a loyal local following. Conclusion: the art and impact of storytelling. Storytelling is an indispensable aspect of modern marketing and community engagement. It has the potential to not only attract attention, but also to inspire, motivate, and create a lasting bond between the brand and its audience. By mastering storytelling, brands can turn passive consumers into active participants, advocates, and loyalists in their ongoing brand story. To do: create a practical task related to unveiling the art of storytelling. Short step-by-step plan. 1. Choose a personal story or anecdote that relates to the topic of storytelling. For example, think of a time when you had to overcome a challenge and how you can use that experience to connect with your audience. 2. Craft the narrative of your story, ensuring it has a clear beginning, middle, and end. Include details that will engage your audience and make your story relatable. For instance, identify the key emotions and experiences you want to convey. 3. Practice telling your story out loud, paying attention to your tone, pace, and body language. Consider recording yourself to review and refine your delivery. 4. Seek feedback from a trusted friend or colleague, asking for their honest opinion on how compelling and impactful your story is. Take their suggestions into account and make necessary adjustments. The best solution, 10 tenths. This task provides a practical and actionable approach to developing and refining storytelling skills, ensuring that the story is engaging and impactful. Connecting with the audience. Did you know that your audience is more likely to engage with your content if they feel a personal connection to it? In the world of marketing and community engagement, establishing this connection can make the difference between a casual observer and a loyal customer or member. Let's dive into the tactics that can help you connect with your audience in a meaningful way. Understanding your audience. The first step in connecting with an audience is to understand who they are. This goes beyond demographic data like age, gender, and location. Understanding your audience involves getting into their heads, learning about their interests, their behaviors, and their needs. Empathy. Create an empathy map to visualize your audience's desires and challenges. This tool allows you to consider what your audience is thinking, feeling, hearing, seeing, and doing. This deeper understanding can guide the tone and content of your messages. Tailored content. Develop content that resonates specifically with your audience. This could mean aligning your messaging with their values, using language that reflects their own, or addressing pain points that they experience in their personal or professional lives. Building the relationship. Trust is the core of any relationship, including the one between a brand and its audience. Authenticity. Be authentic in your communication. Audiences can sense when a brand is being insincere or simply trying to sell something. Let your brand's personality shine through and ensure that your actions match your words. Consistency. Ensuring a consistent voice and message across all channels strengthens brand recognition and makes your audience feel secure in what they can expect from you. Interactive engagement. Audience engagement is not a one-way street. It should be interactive. Social listening. Pay attention to what is being said about your brand and in your industry. Respond to comments, participate in discussions, and show that you value their input. Feedback loops. Encourage feedback and, more importantly, show that you act on it. This tells your audience that their voice has an impact on your brand's evolution. Leveraging emotions. The most powerful connections are often emotional ones. Storytelling craft stories that touch on universal emotions like happiness, nostalgia, or even sadness. This can help your audience to feel a personal connection to your brand. Visuals and sounds. Use visuals and sound effectively in your marketing. These elements can evoke emotions more quickly than text and can be very effective in drawing in your audience. Personalization. In a digital age where consumers are bombarded with content, personalization can help your message stand out. User data. Utilize user data to provide personalized experiences. This could include addressing them by name in emails or recommending products based on past purchases. Segmented marketing segment. Your audience and tailor your marketing efforts to those individual groups. This ensures that you are providing relevant content that speaks to each segment's unique needs and interests. Examples of connecting. To illustrate these principles in action, let's look at a few hypothetical examples. Example 1. Tailored blog content. A family-oriented travel agency understands that their audience often struggles to find travel destinations suitable for children. They create a series of blog posts titled 10 Unforgettable Family Adventures that speaks directly to their audience's needs and desires. Example 2. Responsive social media presence. A fitness apparel company actively monitors their social media for customer feedback. They notice a trend of customers asking for eco-friendly products. The company announces a new line of sustainable clothing and credits the change to customer input. By implementing these strategies, you can establish a connection with your audience that goes beyond the superficial. This connection is what can transform a one-time customer into a brand advocate and a community member into an active participant. Remember, connecting with your audience is a continuous process that requires attention and adaptation. But by centering your efforts around these principles, you're setting the stage for lasting relationships. Connect with the audience by engaging in a meaningful and impactful way. Short step-by-step plan. 1. Research the audience. Understand the demographics, preferences, and interests of the audience. For example, if you are presenting to a group of young professionals, research their industry and common challenges they face in the workplace. 2. Tailor the content. Customize your message and content to resonate with the audience. For instance, if you're speaking to a group of technology enthusiasts, include relevant case studies and examples from the tech industry. 3. Use interactive elements. Incorporate interactive elements such as polls, Q&A sessions, or real-life anecdotes to make the presentation more engaging. The end. We hope you've enjoyed this audiobook course.